in my car on my way home. So I thought I would do a live because I know a lot of people are wondering what I think it is with Shannon Sharpe and him being let go. Shannon Sharpe was let go. Let's not even play these type of games about he volunteered. Listen, how many times have I told you? There's no such thing when somebody say me and the company mutually agreed to. No, that's a form of a firing. But I told you guys a couple of days ago. I said Shannon Sharpe probably did his last show on ESPN. And Stephen A. Smith, all he was trying to do was save face. When he got on there talking about he recruited them and we all got somebody we got to answer to and all that kind of stuff, that was a prelude to letting you guys know of things to come. That's all it was. When he said he talked to the boss, why did you go on? And then he kept saying this platform I own and I owe it. No, you didn't. They told you to do it. They told you to do it, or they was gonna find a way to void out that $100 million contract that you got. Stephen A. Smith, he sold Shannon Sharpe out. And that's all it come down to. That's all it come down to. He threw Shannon Sharpe under the bus. We all knew this was coming. Listen, I can be honest with you guys. Listen, this is just real talk. I've been terminated before. I've been fired before. And I know people that work in human resources. I know how that works. Okay? When people that's in Shannon Sharpe's line of work, when they say that they step down or they mutually agreed to part ways, all they're saying is that they got fired. They just letting you gracefully, vow out. Take a bow. That's all they're doing is gratefully letting you bow out. That's all. So like I said, I know how this works. But I'm going to tell you right now, unless you have another job lined up right after you get terminated, don't never quit. Don't volunteer. Do not quit, because then that makes you ineligible for unemployment benefits. So if you unabruptly or unexpectedly get terminated, file for unemployment. But if you quitting and you getting fired and you got another job lined up that you're going to start in a week or two, you perfectly go ahead. All right, go ahead and quit. But I'm just telling you now, if you resign from a job, then you're ineligible for unemployment benefits. And then another thing that I'm sad about, that's all I'm saying. Why ain't Shannon Sharpe in jail if he just so uncontrollable, if he's just this sexual deviant that he's being made out to be? This is a play. This is a shakedown, and this is and it's a smear campaign. I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody that's sitting up here in media that's celebrating Shannon Sharpe's downfall, I can promise you, your day is coming. Your day of reckoning is coming too. Dudes like Jason Whitlock and Marcellus Wiley cooning it up, vasting and the downfall of Shannon Sharpe. Like I said, that don't mean y'all gonna get y'all asses back on major network television. Obviously, they didn't want you. That's why they tossed you on your ass already. I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of suspected this was going to happen with Shannon Sharpe because he was getting too big. And it came too quick. A lot of times, your biggest enemy, and I hate to say this, and this is what makes guys like, Goodfellas Sports TV upset, because he talks to me about this kind, and there ain't no camaraderie. There is no unity. It's been destroyed. I told you it's easy to infiltrate and turn black people against each other because black people have this natural envy towards each other. I was raised and taught to be happy for somebody, even if you don't like them. And I was always taught, even if you do something to somebody, make sure your intentions is for the right reason. See, some people just wanted to see Shannon Sharpe fall. If you do something, if your intentions ain't if they ain't generally good, you just as bad as the person that you coming after. If you doing it out of jealousy, hatred, whatever the case may be, you ain't no better than that person. And the thing is with Shannon Sharpe, I speak from very up close and personal experience because what's happening to Shannon Sharpe happened to somebody that I'm really close with. I'm not going to say who the person is because I'm going to protect their privacy. But basically, they was accused of doing this type of stuff. And then come to find out, the person, they saved text messages and it was the typical thing. They got mad at the person and then they just decided, oh, they're going to do this to him just out of spite. And I'm going to tell you right now, even if Shannon Sharpe survives this, he finds a way to get out of this, his reputation is ruined. You already know when you black is if they say you did it, you guilty. Even if you prove that you're innocent, you're still guilty because of who you are and what you look like. And like I said, a lot of people, a lot of you motherfuckers that's sitting up here celebrating what's going on with Shannon Sharpe, that's sitting up grinning, got the Judd Nelson grin from New Jack City when they took out, you know, when black dude took out Nino Brown. Like I said, be careful. Be careful. Because your day might come. And like I said before, I'm just hearing some of the most complete, utter, man. And some people here just being so, come on, man. The pandering is just, it is just nauseating. Because now people want to pander. And don't come here with that, you know, as a black community, we have to police each other. We have to hold each other accountable. Since when? Since when? Since when? Stop it. You know what tripped me out? Everybody is up in arms about what Shannon Sharpe allegedly has done. But once again, Russell Brand has been arrested. He's going to trial. You don't have a you don't have a problem with Russell Brand. You don't have a problem with Danny Masterson, who's in jail for sexually assaulting multiple women. Don't say nothing about Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey was accused of violating boys. And you know the funny thing is, a couple of his victims ended up in the morgue. So that's what I'm saying. Don't have a problem with James Franco. Don't have a problem with the Affleck brothers. Both of them been accused of that stuff. So y'all pick and choose who y'all get pissed off at, who y'all want to lay down the law with. Y'all don't do no videos about them. But it just goes to show you black people make the world go round. We are people's incomes. Because without us, nobody would have no money. And the funny thing is, like I said before, we make everybody else rich except each other. While you got that fool Wallow sitting up here making excuses because he want to continue to give them people that don't look like him money and spend money with them, you know, but that's your black community. We the only ones that do this type of stuff. It's a long list. You got Roman Polanski that been on the run for 50 years, who was convicted of rape, and they paid tribute to him at the Oscars. And people gave him a standing ovation. But everybody was up in arms with Will Smith slapping a nigga that disrespected his wife. All y'all niggas came after him, except me. So y'all black people is just as bad as the very people that you claim be discriminating and being racist against you. You are some fucking hypocrites. You some damn hypocrites. You ain't no better than them folks. Y'all acting just like them. You think I'm lying? Go look up James Franco. He was accused of, why you think Seth Rogen stopped talking to him? But it was swept under the rug. The Affleck brothers, Ben and Casey, was accused of inappropriate behavior. Danny Masterson from that 70s show is in jail right now. Russell Brand is about to be on trial. Jean-Claude Van Damme has been accused with messing with kidnapped women that they using for sex. But I didn't see no videos about them. So y'all black people, y'all ain't no better than the very people y'all be claiming racism from. Y'all ain't no better. The hypocrisy with y'all, man. But I knew Stephen A. Smith. I knew he was setting. He was setting up the play. I listened to that, and it was so funny. I called 7-8. I called the homie 2 Raw. We all knew this was coming. We all agreed Shannon Sharpe ain't coming back to ESPN. And I told y'all. Stephen A. Smith a snake. Why would you sit up there and make an announcement to talk about the situation? You could have tweeted and said, you know what? I'ma just I ain't got nothing to say. That's it, that's all. But you did what you did what your white bosses, at ABC/Disney told you to do, which was throw Shannon Sharpe under the bus. But you sat up there and was taken up for Skip Bayless. Oh, this ain't the Skip Bayless I know. Nigga, fuck you. Sambo ass nigga. I'm like, man, you gotta be kidding me. But you went to bat for Skip Bayless, who looking at the same thing. I told you, man, this is real talk. A lot of black people just don't want to see black people do good. They don't want to see other black people succeed. Like I said, I'm going to keep this 100. I ain't like some of the stuff that Shannon Sharpe said and did. I didn't like how he threw. I didn't like how they did Kyrie Irving, how they left him hanging. I didn't agree on his stance about Ja Morant, but damn. I'm not always going to cancel somebody and wash my hands of somebody, because at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe was bringing a lot of black people on his platform. Some people that you wasn't even very familiar with. Guys like Desi Banks and guys like that. Because Desi Banks is primarily pretty much a YouTuber, which Desi Banks got talent. But I'm just saying, he was given a platform. He was moving in silence. I done told y'all, when you work for them folks, you only can be so pro-black. But like I said, Shannon was moving in silence. Look at the interview he did with Bud later on, and what Bud said was on. And it just goes to show you that Bud be listening to some of these channels. He probably listened to me because I've been saying this for the longest. I've been saying this for the longest. I'm driving. I can't read the comment section. So, moderators, it's basically like I'm doing a video. Moderators, anybody come on here, like I said, with that BS, get rid of them. It's zero tolerance. And I just want to say something. Don't come on here regurgitate what some other dude said on his channel. Because I ain't that dude. I think for myself. And that's just real talk. Everything that I say is my own thoughts. If you ask yourself that if you in a relationship with somebody, why are you constantly recording phone calls? And then I listened to some of those recordings. Shannon Sharpe didn't even sound aggressive, but everybody is disregarding the text about, oh, put a baby in me. I want some of that black juice or whatever the hell she was saying. If this I'm talking logical, that don't make sense. If somebody is violating you, mistreating you, doing all this to you, why you keep going back? And I'm gonna tell you right now, I believe Shannon Sharpe gave her money anyway. I believe Shannon Sharpe was giving her money. If I'm Shannon Sharpe, I'll fight this to the very end. You ain't got nothing to lose now. They didn't already took away your job at ESPN. I don't know what's going to go on with the media deal. I don't know if that $100 million deal is down the drain. I can't speak on that. I don't know what is the status of that. And like I said, timing is everything. I find it so ironic. As soon as these numbers came out, see what was going on. Shannon Sharpe was on the verge of surpassing a lot of these dudes, and they couldn't stand. Listen, it goes on. It goes on. See, the thing is with me, I'm not worried about subscribers and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these dudes, they pander. When they hit a certain number in subscribers, they change. They don't have to, but they feel like, okay, the more that I pander or cater to a certain group, the more subscribers I can get. The more BS that I put out. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, out of every 10 YouTuber, 7 of them don't even believe half the stuff they say. A lot of these dudes, they pander to a certain audience because they know that that's going to get them views and likes. So like if you I don't want to say the dude's name, but dude, Officer Kuno type of dudes, Jason Kuhnlock, Marcellus Lee. See, if you pander to racists and constantly talk about black people, yeah, that's a quick way to build up an audience and get subscribers. Like I said, a lot of these dudes don't be believing half of the stuff that come out their mouth, but they do it for views, they do it for clicks. But at the same time, you endanger people like me when you have those talking points. When you talk like that dude, Officer Kunum, and those type of dudes, you have them really believing that it's okay to think that way. You give them a vessel. You give them a safe haven. You give them, like, for real, an epicenter. It ain't no way in hell I'm going to let somebody that don't like me come on my platform talking about my people. Let me tell you something. I get offers all the time. People had offered to buy my channel from me. People have said, hey, I love what you're doing, but you should have way more subscribers. Let me do this. Let me do that. I'll help you get. No, not doing it. If it means that I have to, like, change how I feel about a certain situation or pander, and I can't talk the way that I want to talk, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not compromised. I get offers. I get invited to come on panels all the time. I'll turn them down because I don't want to. I don't want to be in that space. I like where I am. I hear that all the time. Hey, you should have this amount of subscribers. You should have it. Ain't worried about it. Ain't worried about it. They come. I'm not changing who I am. And like I said, a lot of these dudes, they did, you know, as you get more subscribers, you get more views. Well, guess what? The direct deposit have, have more numbers. May have an extra, zero added to the extra numbers. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. They have people that advise you and stuff on here that want to. I don't need no advisor. I'm keeping my channel the way it is. I'd rather have the audience or the subscribers I have being myself than sit up here every day pushing that record button and lying and perpetrating a fraud. Wrong guy. But yeah, let's get back to Stephen A. Smith. What a snake. I'm talking about what a sniveling coward. You coward. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Stephen A. Smith was happy when he heard about Shannon Sharpe getting that $100 million deal. Listen. You know why? Because he sees Shannon Sharpe as competition. He see him as competition. Me, myself, I don't see nobody as competition because I'm not competing with nobody. I'm in my own lane. I'm in my own space. But this is why, like I said, I don't do no collabs, really. People do that's weird is say Goodfellas Sports TV, people like that I'm real cool with. A lot of these dudes, they see other guys as competition. They're competitor. I understand that. But here's the thing, though. Last time I checked, it was like, 6 billion people on this planet? It's enough subscribers and views and money for everybody. So I don't understand it. Listen, there's people that I helped along the way. I gave them props. I gave their channel shouts out. They went on to get like 30, 40, 50,000 subscribers. That's fine. They surpassed me. Good for them. But you have to understand, it came too quick for Shannon Sharpe. The transformation of Club Shay Shay just over a year's time. I knew that eventually people was going to start hating on Shannon Sharpe. And then you had niggas like D.L. Hughley hating on Shannon Sharpe, talking about he the Wendy Williams call him a male Wendy Win, but then you constantly taking your ass on the Informants channel. You constantly going on dude's channel. The dude with the fake hairpiece. Talking about black men. Make that make sense. So what the hell is what the hell is the Ukrainian tether? What does that make him? Black people got the game mixed up. Black people don't value other black people. I do. I value black men. I value black women. I really do. We always feel like we need validation from people that don't look like us to be relevant, when all we need is us. We can't stay on code to save our life. We the easiest community to infiltrate. One, we talk too damn much. For real. We don't have to let everything be known. I learned my lesson. That's why I move in silence. It's certain things I'll share with y'all, but then there's certain things that ain't meant to be shared. But like I said, I already knew that Stephen A. Smith I already knew that he was basically speaking on what was of things to come. That's funny. I'm on the freeway, right? And I just walked by a dead raccoon. Not walked by, I just drove by a dead raccoon. Interesting. But anyway, speaking of coons, let's talk about Stephen A. Smith once again. He was setting Shannon Sharpe up, man. He was setting Unc up. And like I said before, how Shannon Sharpe blew up with that Cat Williams interview. And then some people, instead of them just saying, hey, Shannon, I want to come on the show, they started attacking the dude. Making jokes about his sexuality and all this kind of stuff. Like, I always ask myself, why is everybody sexuality? So it make me question them. Are they going through something that make them like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just weird to me. I don't give a fuck who Shannon Sharpe have in his bedroom. That's just real talk. That stuff don't interest me one way or another. I just don't care. But yeah, Stephen A. Smith, he was setting it up. And I could just tell how he was just talking. He was saying, when he was talking about, somebody got somebody they got to answer to and all this kind of stuff. And if it was up to me, when y'all hear that line, listen, let's keep it real. I know some people that's listening to this stream and go come across this stream, been fired before. When you hear lines like, or somebody that's about to be fired, when you get hit with that, if it was up to me, yeah. When he said that, I said, yeah. And I told y'all this was going to happen. I already knew. I've been doing this listen, I'm 50 years old. I know dialogue when somebody's about to be fired. Or when somebody is throwing somebody under the bus. Yeah. And then he kept saying, well, this right here, the Stephen A. Smith show, I own this show, sounded like them dudes on those hair transplant commercials. This is my hair. I own this hair. This is my hair. Okay, nigga, we know that's your platform. But what he was doing subliminally is saying that, yeah, it's my platform, but they told me to speak on this. I've been doing this for a while, y'all. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. It's certain wording when you hear somebody talk, especially pertaining to the workforce. When you hear that type of dialogue, oh, I have to let you go because this is going on, or we don't have, or we're overstaffed, or if it was up to me, I'd keep you here, and all this kind of stuff, or that one, listen, I didn't heard all this before. And I'm definitely going to talk about what we've learned from Shannon Sharpe, what we have learned. Things are just different now. I got to keep this 100 with y'all men, and particularly the brothers. The days of you like talking to a woman in a regular way may be over. The days of courting is over. Because now if you court a woman, you get called a pervert. So now it's to the point, I give you an example. I went to the movies yesterday to see Freaky Tales. Great movie. I'm going to have that review for y'all later on. And it was this lady. She was a nice looking lady too. Nice, you know what I'm saying? Nice looking light skinned lady. Beautiful shape. And I'm at the point now, I could tell when somebody kind of want me to say something, but then these women be playing so many games and stuff. You just never know what type of time they be on. And she kept looking at me. I didn't say nothing to her. That's how it is now, because you just not sure. You just not sure that you being set up for the okie doke. And what's so sad about this Shannon Sharpe thing, this is setting a bad precedent. And Tony Busby is full of it to say, well, if you have, relationships 100 times, if 99% of them, if 99 of them is consensual that one time, man, do you know how stupid that sound? That sound absurd. That sound absurd. And what judge would believe that, okay, you done been with somebody for 5 years, you done had relationships, or relations as they call it, sex, whatever, over 50 times, but there was that one time where it was like, do you know how absurd that sound? And I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100. If somebody violates you, go to the damn police. I'm tired of hearing these excuses about embarrassment, humiliation, and all. Okay, well, here's the thing. This is why I know this is cap. Okay, let me get this straight. Don't you have to come to court when you sue somebody? And look that person right in the face and say, oh, this is the dude that sexually harassed me. This is the dude that did this. Don't you have to figure that dude out? So what's the difference between figuring somebody out for money versus putting them in jail? Make that make sense. Boom, drop the motherfucking mic. So you ain't too scared to sue somebody, but you scared to put them in jail. I'm real with mines. And no, I don't believe all women. Hell no. I'm sorry that this ether is hurting some of y'all, but I'm cooking. The same way your ass have to go to court and talk about why you suing this person for sexual assault, why you suing for whatever X amount of money, You still have to look the person in the face. So let me get this straight. You ain't scared to sue nobody, but you scared to call the police. You scared to put them in jail. Make that make sense. Explain that to me. So that's why I always have my antennas up when I hear about a woman suing somebody for sexual assault, but then they don't want them in jail. Shannon Sharpe just got too big. He got too big, too quick, and people couldn't stand it. And they wanted to take him down. Not a notch, a big notch. Because you got some people say, man, I've been in this business 20-something years, man. This dude is an ex-football player. How this dude getting these type of views? How he getting these type of high-end? So like I said before, Shannon Sharpe did some good. Like I said. He had what, Carlos, what's that dude's name? The comedian Carlos Rogers. He had a lot of different, he was, like I said, he was bringing content creators on his platform. And like I said, when he brought Desi Banks on there. Shout out to Desi Banks, man. Desi Banks is funny, man. Especially with them white Air Forces versus black Air Forces. I do need to give me some more black Air Forces. But I'm just trying to explain to y'all, man, for real, with friends like Stephen A. Smith, who needs enemies? Stephen A. Smith, like, basically, man, Stephen A. Smith, he gave Shannon Sharpe the Bill O'Neal treatment, man. That's going to be my new catchphrase. Because, Bill O'Neal was one of the biggest traitors in history. In case you don't know who Bill O'Neal is the dude that set Fred Hampton up, who basically drugged him, allegedly, in his sleep, to where the cops came in there and they basically exterminated him. And the sad part about it is Fred Hampton Jr. says that every year they be like, they be shooting at his father's grave. Trash. And they do the same thing with Emmett Till's grave too. A 14-year-old boy. And like I said, I'm going to address a lot of different things. Before I go to you black women that's sitting up here saying, oh, well, we shouldn't be worried about what's going on with Shannon Sharpe because, he was messing with white girls. I'm not saying this to all black women, but if you think like that, you sorry as hell. So how would you feel if somebody did that to your black son? How would you feel if some white woman did that to your black son? Would you have the same sentiments? But it's funny though. It's so funny. Black women stay worried about who black men is marrying and procreating with. But then if somebody call y'all out for dating outside y'all race, y'all tell us to stay out y'all business. Y'all elevating y'all mind. You being open-minded. Anything to justify your hypocrisy. Real talk. Y'all sitting up saying, well, Shannon Sharpe was dating a white woman, or he date white women. Okay, well, what about your so-called Kamala Harris black president nominee that's married to a white man? And what was the person that was I forgot her name? Ain't she married to a white man? See, y'all want to play that colorism stuff, or you want to play that racism stuff, or who somebody dating when it's convenient for y'all. See, y'all want to talk about who somebody dating or sleeping with when it's convenient. And this is why I keep saying, if Barack Obama had been married to a white woman, he would have not got elected president. Promise you that. He got elected because of Michelle. I can truly say that. Had Obama been married to a white woman, he would have not been president. But then when you was bringing up the fact, oh, well, Kamala got a white man. Well, what that got to do with anything? Okay, well, what dude Shannon Sharpe like getting accused of sexual assault by a white? I thought we all black. But then y'all the same black women that was telling us we need to, defend Serena, or accused us of not defending Serena Williams when she was going through all that racism when she was playing. When her coward ass husband didn't say nothing. But we was riding for her. And here's another example. What did Nick Cannon get out of when he basically was talking about, hey, I don't mess with Eminem because he made those songs talking about black women? Well, Nick Cannon's baby mamas is most of his baby mamas is light skinned. When he gonna get a dark skin? And like, that's just what I'm talking about. That's the shit that I'm talking about right then and there. You conveniently want to make stuff about race when it pertains to, interracial dating. Black man get shamed. Black man date outside his race, he gets shamed. He a cretin, he everything but a child of God. Black woman date outside their race, they're looking outside the box, it's celebrated, all this kind of stuff. And I'm gonna say this once again. I ain't never heard of no cases where a black woman got killed for like dating a white man. But I know they done been cases where a black man that got killed for dating a white woman. But anyway, that's all I have to say. This your boy Town. I'm out.